So let's look at some of these lab tests that we use to monitor and also diagnose our thyroid conditions. The very first one you're probably gonna get, most likely from a medical doctor or your naturopath, is gonna be a thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, okay? Thyroid stimulating hormone. Now, with that particular blood test, very simple. What it's checking is to see if the brain is trying to get the thyroid to hurry up and keep up, because it's not keeping up, okay? So if there is a high thyroid stimulating hormone, it means that the brain's trying to stimulate the thyroid. Hurry up, you're not keeping up, okay? So high TSH is gonna give us an indication of low thyroid function, okay? High TSH, hypothyroidism. Got it? All right, so what happens if we have a hyperthyroid state? What's gonna happen with our TSH, our thyroid stimulating hormone, which comes from the brain? It's gonna be low, okay? So if our thyroid is high functioning, too high functioning, TSH is gonna be too low, okay? So this is where the opposite, that's the most confusing part of all of it, okay? So put a pin in that. Now, what do we check next? Well, if TSH comes back and it's not quite normal, it's out of range, and by the way, the range is very, very broad on a regular lab test form. Like you'll see, like let's say like your TSH comes back at say 3.75. I'm gonna flag that as a naturopath. And the upper limit of TSH on that lab test is 4. I don't pay attention to that as much. I do, but all that tells me is that you don't need medication yet. Okay, so if it's not above 4, you don't need medication yet. If it's not below, I forget what the lower level is, 2, 1, something like that. Tells me that you probably aren't in hyperthyroid clinically, but there's something called subclinical thyroid problems, and that's where I operate, where you don't yet need medication, or maybe you're on medication and you need things to be more optimal and you go to see a naturopath to help that. We treat medicated and unmedicated thyroid problems. So my range for TSH is actually quite a bit more narrow. Now, what else do you get checked? T4, that's your active thyroid hormone, T4. Now that's the most common one that a medical doctor or a naturopathic doctor is going, or a nurse practitioner is gonna be checking, is your T4 active thyroid hormone. There's another one called T3, and the body doesn't produce as much T3, nearly as much T3 as it produces T4, which is probably why we just started checking T4. But T3 has a slightly different role in the body that T4 has. They do have slightly different jobs. They just look kind of the same because we both label them as active thyroid hormone, right? The things that help our metabolism and our body temperature and our hair, skin, and nails and blah, blah, blah. Okay? T4 is what thyroid medications are made of, okay? So if you have levothyroxine or Synthroid, that is synthetic T4. It's basically a T4 supplement, right? So my levothyroxine that I take every day is a T4 supplement, all right? It's my thyroid hormone because my body can't make it because it keeps destroying it. It's an inner conflict. But, you know, I self-monitor my T3 as well because I'm curious. Sometimes my T4 has been fine, my T3 has not been. And I'm like, yep, that's why I'm not feeling quite right. How do I deal with that? And I get creative. You know what? I probably need some rosemary and lemon balm. Well, maybe I should get back on that ashwagandha. I haven't been taking my minerals. I wonder if I'm low on some copper or selenium or something. You know, you start to troubleshoot. Or sometimes my T3's been fine, but my T4 has not been. So I check it. So those are your active thyroid hormones. So you can check TSH, T3, T4. There's 2 more that I like to check. Anti-thyroperoxidase and anti-thyroglobulin. Now, those are immune system markers. They're immune system markers. I'm checking for immune antibodies when I'm checking for anti-TPO and anti-TG, okay? My anti-TPO is like through the roof, okay? Not right now because I'm medicated. I took myself off my medication a few years ago. It was really through the roof then. tried a natural approach. At that point, wasn't for me. Doesn't mean it can't be done. Just couldn't be done at that point with me. So anti-thyroperoxidase is an immune antibody. Okay, it's an antibiotic that the immune system produced. Right, it manufactures it and it's got its sole purpose is to go and destroy an enzyme that the body has made somewhere else in a different department. This antibody's main job, like only job, is to go and hunt the enzymes that the body produced somewhere else. And so once it finds the enzyme called Thyroperoxidase, it destroys it, deactivates it. That's what that antibody's for. It's like a little robot that goes around, destroy, 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 destroy. That's what the body has made. That's why it's called autoimmunity. It's a state of non-self. It's my body, your body, if you have an anti-TPO activation. That's the immune system not recognizing its own self, right? It's a mistake. Whoops. We accidentally made this antibody. Well, we can't do anything about it now. Or can we? Or can we? I don't know. I don't know. So antithyroglobulin. It's a similar thing. It's just that antibody, its main job is to go find the thyroglobulin, which is a protein. And it looks around, it goes hunting, right? For this protein the body's made, called thyroglobulin. And it's the antithyroglobulin, so it goes hunting. And destroy, 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 and it deactivates. Okay, so that's what those things are. They're little destroyers. They're destroyer robots. Okay. So what are they destroying? Well, thyroperoxidase enzyme. I know more about thyroperoxidase enzyme than I do antithyroglobulin. I probably could have looked it up before this video, but thyroperoxidase enzyme, the good guy over here, it makes sure that thyroid hormones get activated. So you've got like inactive hormone, and it's ready to become active thyroid hormone so that it can, we can have metabolism and energy and all that stuff. Thyroperoxidase enzyme is needed to activate the thyroid hormone. It's needed to activate the thyroid hormone, okay? So when we don't have a lot of that around, we can't activate our thyroid hormone. So for example, me, who's got like a bunch of antithyroperoxidase floating around because my immune system made a mistake and hasn't fixed it yet. I make lots of those enzymes, I'm sure. I'm sure my body makes a lot of it. I'm sure my body spends a lot of energy trying to make all of it. But it just gets destroyed. So I can't produce active thyroid hormone. I can only produce inactive thyroid hormone. That's why I have to take medication. Same with antithyroglobulin. It's really just a protein, and it's part of the building process to make active thyroid hormones. And so if we can't get that, in there in the manufacturing process because the antibody killed all of it off first, then we can't activate our thyroid hormones, hence needing medication, needing a supplement, right? Needing a synthetic T4 supplement. Or a synthetic T3, T4 supplement combined. There is synthetic T3 out there. There is. You can get them at compounding pharmacies if your medical doctor or nurse practitioner is willing to try it with you. It does exist. It's expensive. There's also Armour Thyroid. But we're going to have to get into this thyroid supplements and the medications and all those other things in a different video because we're almost at 10 minutes. Okay, have a great day. Talk to you soon.